and welcome to The Escape. I'm Nick, and Adam's not here today, so I got some reinforcements. Like, let's do this. Yay! So I got some reinforcements tonight. I got Nate from of the Chihuahuas and Jerry, who is Jerry. So, hello.
Got no credentials.
Allow myself to introduce myself.
Right, exactly. So it's been a hot minute since we've done a show, so we're gonna do just a kind of full wrap up of 2023, some of favorite things for 2023, and looking forward to 2024. And 66% of the board today is a little bit sick, so if we have some sniffling or some coughing, that's what's going on. So, but anyway, Nate, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing okay. I'm the other 33% of the sickness. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me. It's been great knowing you. It's great.
We've been messaging back and forth like, when are you doing a show again? I'm like, I don't know. Like, just because Adam's been working so much, I've been so busy. My computer went down for a few weeks. I'm just like, I finally got things back together. Adam's still working like crazy, so he'll be back when he can. But just was like, he's like, "Are we gonna do a show again?" He's like, "Yes, we're gonna do a show again, Nate. Don't worry. Like, we're still friends. It's fine. We're still."
Well, we have our Kickstarter, and we're trying to do the what do they call it? I can't think.
I know you're into stretch goals already, right?
When you go on the campaign trail, that's what we're on.
That's right. Yeah.
So we're into stretch goals right now.
Awesome. Yeah, because you guys just launched it, didn't you?
Yeah, a couple of days ago.
Already hit your goal, but like I said, we're already into the stretch goals. But yeah, you guys are, because we were just talking off camera, because Sherry's like, yeah, I tried doing the Kickstarter. It's like there's so much work into it. It's not even funny. So
how would people get involved if they want to, Nate? Do they have to go to the Kickstarter webpage, or is there a link somewhere?
There's, I don't know if Nick, you want to type it into the old Scroll-O-Matic, but it's
right now. So give me 1 second.
It's
I am on things
other than cough syrup.
Besides cough syrup and caffeine, boys. So all right. So there we go. We are on issue 5 of Chihuahuas, and Nate, this is the final issue of this run, right?
Yes, and it's fantastic because you guys were the first podcast to bring us on, so lots of love, and we've made friends since with you guys. If you want to join this particular campaign, it's bit.ly/killerdogs, plural dogs 5, for the 5th issue. So
yeah, you're already up over your initial goal, so we're into the stretch, so it's doing all right. So, and it still has 27 days to go. So what does that make the final day for that then?
I think February 8th. Okay. We started January 9th. We were we've become I don't fully understand how this works, but we are now an imprint, I believe, of a bigger comic book company called Lesser Known Comics, and they have guided us. Mark Bernal is the founder, and got a lot of coaching and support, and I forgot why I started saying that. But it's been great because it's that was the thing, is that I guess they're doing every week they launch a new Kickstarter campaign. So Tuesdays are the days to launch, usually 10 a.m. Eastern time is the time to launch. So it's really cool being a part of that group, though. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of really good guys and gals in there.
Yeah, because I think I think I've gotten some calls from those guys, and I've had good interaction so far with them just on Instagram. Just seem like good guys, good people. And then some of the artists that you've gotten involved with, even just on my end, just trying to support them, and just all the interactions I've had have been positive. So yeah, it seems like a good group, and so they come out with one just about, you said, approximately every month.
Yeah, no, every week.
Every week.
There is about 20 to 30 creators involved, if I'm if I'm right, and everybody supports each other. So it's a collective. And it's really what I had hoped to find initially, but everybody tries to help each other out. So, like, you guys know about Killer Hair.
Yep.
Um,
Wait, hold on.
Myra Hernandez did this cover. She's joining Lesser Known Comics, and Max Flowers is the editor for Killer Hair, and he has me working. He did this cover for Night of the Chihuahuas, which is an Exorcist homage, if you can't tell.
Very cool.
And this is an exclusive. A
That's-
comic book store asked us to do an exclusive cover, and we've been waiting for that kind of thing. So that was really cool. But both of them with lesser known comics, and Max has kind of challenged me. Max is a younger person, and he kind of just slapped me around in the face a little bit, and it challenged me as an editor to write. Today, I actually wrote an entire one-shot comic book from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., and I finished the first draft. So
No,
a
that's
24-page comic book.
yeah, that's awesome. And like I said, and sometimes you know, you were say slap in the face. I always call it the boot in the ass. You know, that's sometimes what you need is sometimes you not necessarily tough love, but just say, yeah, sweet. You know, hey, get going, get out there, go. You know, and no, that's awesome.
But it's just so cool to have like creators that are wanting to help you, that want your help. I'm stepping in and helping them because Night of the Chihuahuas is now in 50 stores. We broke the 50 store mark.
Really?
Yeah.
That's excellent.
Well, it's
Really
only
excellent.
2.5% of the nation's total, but I'm proud. We've kind of coordinated with friends and made it happen where we've got into these stores, and that's more than a lot of people will do. So I'm trying to roll some of these things back into lesser known comics, and Family Man, I believe, will start production on June 1st. Killer Hair is already in production. Night of the Chihuahuas 2, we're circling on when to start that. And this one I just wrote called, it's Diversity, D-I-E Versity. I don't know if that name is going to stick, but that should be rolling in production too. And David wrote a Night of the Chihuahuas small kids book, so that kids could participate in Night of the Chihuahuas.
So, and I assume Dave's writing the second run of Night of the Chihuahuas as well.
What's that?
Is David writing the second run of Night of the Chihuahuas as well?
It was done before we started making comics. It's called Chihuahuas from Hell.
Oh, okay.
So hopefully that'll be awesome.
So the whole story arc is five books there, or 5
for the first series, yeah. And then we're trying to figure
series.
out how to do the second series. But yes, we completed a 5-book series as our first project, which we've been told was not the way to do it. Should have started off with like a single book.
In hindsight, turns out that was the complete wrong way. But you think when it comes to like, hey, we do comic books are supposed to be issue by issue, but
well, if you
that's not always the case. So.
If you write a movie, it comes out into a lot of books. So that's how David writes, is in screenplay format, and we're learning how to tail that down. Like the one I did today is 24 pages, complete story. So very rewarding.
That's the thing. Like with comic books, I was like, because that's one of the reasons I love comic books, because a comic book should be anywhere you pick it up and read it, should be anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes of quick in and out. It's like watching an episode of television. You know, you get those big graphic novels. Like, not that I'm scared of, not that I don't have the brain power to, you know, sit there and comprehend, but it's like, do I want to make that time investment? Because if that investment's not worth it, then I'd rather, anytime you try something new, like, well, let's let's get a taste and then see if you like that, and then we can move on. But so that's why to me, like that's why it made sense for you guys to go issue by issue with it. So
Well, here's something I'll do for a reveal. First time sharing it. You guys can tell me what you. So we have an artist, Toronto, named Jeff Monk, and this guy is like super Spawn, loves Spawn. He's the Spawnuary thing is all about him. But this is okay. There's 3 different versions. You guys have to tell me what you think, and I'm gonna do this again. But here's world first. Everyone, the millions of people that watch the Escape podcast, I want you to vote. So here's the first. I don't know if the color is good. Is that good?
That is cool.
Okay, hold on. I don't know if you're even going to be able to tell the difference, but then this is a different color. It doesn't. I don't think it's showing up on the screen.
yeah, give me 1 second, Nate. Those probably aren't on Instagram yet, are they?
No, they're not. You want me to text them to you?
Um,
Or I can email them to you real quick.
you put them through. Yeah, email. Yeah, just email.
Okay. I love technology sometimes.
Yeah, it's love and hate sometimes. Sometimes, like, yeah, that's amazing. Other times, like, when it works, right? Technology's great when it works. When it's not, it's the worst thing it's ever been.
See, I just sent 3 covers to you. Technology. Do you remember on Napoleon Dynamite at the end? How I love technology.
Yes.
Not a easy, but I still love technology. Always and forever. That was glorious.
Send them over. We'll get to see them. You can put them up on screen there, Nick.
Yep.
Very, very good.
Okay, Nick, you can't reproduce these and put them on the interwebs.
It's too late. It's already happening.
I already sent it to the dark web.
Right.
Nate, I am just thrilled for you. This is great success.
Well, the funny thing is, financially, we're in the hole, and there's a lot of really cool things going on, but we haven't broke even yet. So,
okay, so that's
there you go. Now, this is the guy up in Toronto that does this?
Yeah, his name
art?
is Jeff Monk, and he has a colorist working with him. So he drew all of the pencils and inks, and then I think he colored 1 and she colored 2, maybe.
I love all the blood. That's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. I love it though.
And I don't know if you saw, since we haven't been on here, but somebody got this tattooed on their arm.
I think I saw that post, and I'm like, holy jeez.
And I haven't actually revealed any of this fully on the Night of the Chihuahuas thing yet, because this is going to be the cover for our trade paperback.
Nice.
So there's one. You got the. Can you?
I'm working without a net here. Give me. Okay. And this is the second one.
You can't like flip through them from.
It's the way I downloaded them.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, because it's hard to see the differences unless you can kind of scroll side to side.
Let's see
Mm-hmm.
It's subtle stuff, but
yeah. So that's the. So this is. So that's one. Yeah, they're pretty. These ones are pretty subtle. And then Nate dies on me.
Well, so I guess we can't. Maybe we can do a vote later. But do you guys approve of the overall of it?
Oh God, yes.
I mean, the
I
fact
think
that
it's so.
I think that they don't have glowing eyes in the story. I don't know if that's like a bad sell, but I mean it looks fantastic.
Oh yeah,
And that was
very very.
yeah. So that the moon is a little more of like a pink haze, I think, aura around it.
Yeah. Okay. So
Oh yeah. Mm. I think I like that one better. It's nice to have the contrast, but the blood too. I don't know.
I'm gonna disagree with
The
Jerry.
blood looks lighter.
I kind of like the highlight of the moon on this one a little bit more.
Yeah, yeah, maybe. I think of course, maybe it's the computer screen and stuff, but this one, the blood. I'm looking at that bottom row of skulls, and it really looks just real, like you could reach out and touch it. And the other one,
Yeah.
a little more faded, I think, just because the contrast to the blue haze makes the pop more. But I don't know. I like them both.
Well, I'm glad
Do you
guys
have any?
approve.
Slick. Do you have any social media you can put out there for people to vote?
Yeah,
That'd be
I
great social
I haven't
media.
put this out yet. I actually just got this the other day, and we haven't finalized.
World
Maybe I
ex-
can.
It's a worldwide exclusive. Wait, let me get
It is only for you.
It is.
We don't call you Big Daddy for no reason. Oh, no laugh at that one.
I've never been part of a worldwide
That's funny. It's a mini first. Who knew it was gonna be so many firsts tonight?
Man, thanks for sharing that, Nate. I thought that was pretty special.
Right on, guys. Thanks for your input. Yeah, but that was a thing. That was a FOMO thing. This guy is fantastic, and I was afraid that I wasn't going to get to work with him. So like I jumped at the opportunity, and when I told everyone what I did, like in our group, they're like, "Why did you do that?" And I'm like, "But do you see his art? It's amazing!" Like,
Do you not see?
I mean, he
How did you
might
connect
have been around,
that
but
guy?
sometimes the artists they stop taking commissions or whatever, So it's
Oh yeah,
like,
you find people who are busy at the wrong time or the right time. Yeah.
and the guy did that
Yeah.
and paid the colorist for cheaper than a lot of the covers that we did, just pen and ink. And I told him, he laughed. He's like, "I love it. I'll do it." I'm like, "All right, cool." But then it was like a really hard to actually get things to finalize and go through. And the guy, he did the pencils and the inks in one, like, overnight.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow.
So,
How did you get a hold of that guy, Nate? Way up in Toronto.
Instagram.
the gram, man.
No kidding.
I scroll through Instagram and try to meet people, and
That's how we met.
that's how we met. And if you look real quick, Nick, I just emailed you the inks of it if you want to.
Okay.
I don't want to take up your whole show, but
How dare you? We had
How
so
dare
many things topic to talk about.
all right. After this, we'll stop. Oh, Night of the Chihuahuas Kickstarter campaign. Woohoo! Go team.
Heck yeah.
And then
And you guys have a website, right?
nightofthechihuahuas.com. It's CHIHUAHUAS. A lot of people don't know how to spell chihuahuas. Sometimes I don't know how to spell chihuahuas.
It took me a while because if you go CHIHUAHUAS, because that was it took a little bit. Now I know how to. Yeah, now I know.
Are you gonna show the inks?
Right now.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, there's so much detail. Like that's ridiculous. And you said what? How fast did he knock this out?
Overnight.
That's insane.
The guy, he told me that I don't know, like I don't know if this is personal or not, but he was a gamer and he was like a competitive gamer. So he said he's twitchy is the word he used.
Yeah.
And he's like, I have to be doing something with my hand. And he puts out more quality artwork in a day than most people probably put out in a month. He'll do 3 covers in a day. If you follow him on it's monk_illustration. If you follow him on Instagram, like the guy is insane. And he wants to work for Todd McFarlane, but he hasn't had the opportunity. And I think the quality is definitely there.
But so does everybody else.
Yeah. So he did this literally with the writing implement by hand?
Yeah, this is all
on
hand drawn.
computer.
This is all hand drawn.
Oh my!
Do you want to pull up his Instagram?
I mean, make your question.
I'm trying to right now. So here's
Sorry.
the problem. I since I had a computer issue, I had to literally unload and reinstall my Windows. I have not gone into all my social medias on the computer yet, so I'm getting
Okay.
So
that monk_illustration, Jeff Monk. He's a really he's a good guy, a funny guy. I had a lot of anxiety working with him because I thought he was going to pull some stunt and be like, "Oh, shit, I fooled you." But he came through like, you fell for the oldest one in the book.
The oldest trick in the book. What in the nerd?
Well, that's great that you reached out, and what a collaboration. This is awesome.
Right on. Thank you.
Yeah, I know that feeling of, I call it, idle hands. So if you're not doing something, it's gonna, you feel like, something bad's gonna happen. So it's Monk, M-O-N-K.
Yeah, M-O-N-K.
Yeah, so and they got Spawnuary.
You got a good one.
Jerry. So, do you know who Todd McFarlane and the comic book character Spawn is? I think that's no. So, Todd McFarlane.
You talking to me? You broke up. You broke.
Oh, so Todd McFarlane, he's one of the biggest creators. Like he's basically a living legend in comic books, and his biggest creation is Spawn. But he also created like Venom and characters like that. So,
oh wow,
yeah, he's kind of a big deal.
Wow.
But he put out he's calling it Spawnuary, and literally any artist of any artist of any skill level, whatever, you can submit a Spawn cover to potentially get put on upcoming comic book covers. So a lot of
four different covers will be picked.
It's gonna be 4 different. Yeah, I just saw that and it was like,
wow.
Because I know even some of the people that you've linked me up with, they're going crazy pumping out these covers.
Yeah, yeah. But this guy, I mean, his style is totally Spawn.
Yeah, it's right up that horror.
Like that one right next to the cup of soup. That one, it's an homage to. Nope, the other way. Sorry.
Oh.
That's an homage to an artist named Stephen Platt, and that's a cover of I think Prophet 7.
Oh yeah, I knew that sounded.
Yeah. Yeah, his attention to detail is crazy.
Look at that. That is so far out of anything I could ever do, and it would seem like it would take weeks to do that.
As it turns out, there's levels to like I can draw pretty okay, but man, there's levels where it's just like because I wanted to do I want to be a comic book artist when I was a kid, but like I just realized like I'm not.
Yeah,
I don't. Yeah. I can draw, but not at the.
Oh, there! Look, hey, look! It's
there's a quick teaser.
Hey,
but yeah, just to crank stuff out this fast and that quality. I mean, it really is. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
and get some Spider-Man stuff. So, oh, that's cool.
Hey.
That's it. If I go back through and have to edit out all these coughs, it's gonna be like a 10-minute show.
I'll hit mute every time I cough.
I was like, I'll totally hit the mute button. I was like, and yeah,
I feel kind of guilty. I feel fantastic.
I take my vitamins. So yeah, and Gunslinger Spawn. Gunslinger Spawn, that's a relatively newer kind of the Spawn family, but that's badass.
Yeah, the guy's insane. He's been putting out, I think, 3 covers a week, like high resolution, high color, like the one, if you scroll down, like the second row, the first one, he did all the inks, but somebody colored that for him.
Yeah.
So he's submitting multiple covers each week for Spawnuary.
Yeah, man, he's Todd McFarlane's gonna have a tough task to pick just a handful of covers.
That last one looked like photorealistic. I mean, what detail?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not jealous like at all. So.
And Nick, I mean, you're looking at it through an artist's eye. I think you're a great artist, to be honest with you.
Oh, but, I appreciate it, but yeah, but
you know,
it's like anything. So yeah. Oh, hey, what's happening? What the hell was that?
Wait, did you just sneeze on the lens? Did you sneeze on the lens? What was it?
Wow. Oh my gosh. Well, there's a lot of firsts going on in this show.
I didn't know that was. How did you do that?
It just went like this.
Oh. Hey! Why did your computer do that? No.
There you go.
Why not do that? Why did yours do that? Are you doing it through your phone?
No, it's on the
what the hell is going on? Why is Naked's all the good stuff, Jerry.
I know.
What the hell?
I subscribe to all the good stuff.com.
Getting all the cool stuff I don't even know about. All right, so.
All right, what else is on the Escape universe?
Well, now that I've got people who have
on your website.
So now that
sorry, I think
there's
people
who have seen Jerry, you saw Godzilla, right?
I did. Godzilla -1.
Yeah, yeah. Because
do you know why I saw it?
Thank you, because I was just like, now I can actually have people on who have seen it, because Adam hasn't been able to go see it. So, all right, finally, we're gonna do an official Godzilla -1 review. So, who wants to go? Jerry, you haven't talked, so Jerry, you go first.
Dude, I only went because I think you had a Facebook post or something, and you had to go by yourself because Trudy didn't want to go and all that. And your review got me going. I went with T'Chaka, and we both said, another Godzilla movie, but Nick said it was good. It was so good, but it was about the monster, but it was about the human story, and it really was very compelling. That was one of my favorite foreign language films I've ever seen.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So first of all, I get to say you're fancy and went and saw a foreign film, but also like I tell people like the human story of it's not just a silly Godzilla movie. The human story of Godzilla it's so much better than it has any business being. Like that story, just all the elements of that story that never occurred to me. Just that whole story, like the kamikaze pilot who refused to go do his mission and then goes back home, and you just, maybe it's just the, arrogant American me or whatever you want to say, but I never thought of, post World War II Japan and the things that they did to, you hear, get taught a little bit in history, like, oh yeah, they rebuilt it and blah, 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 blah. But no, like the immediacy after the nuclear bomb dropping and just like a whole country that was just completely and utterly devastated in every way. I thought they did a great way of just putting that on screen.
Yeah. And then just like the country, they kind of slowly rebuilt their lives. And why wouldn't he marry that gal? And you find out it's going to be around for a while because it's one of those movies that you can get at so many levels. You can go really deep with that stuff.
Oh, and that's what
And I knew about the. Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, go on.
There's a delay. I think it's my computer. I'm sorry about that. But I remember reading a story about one of the Titanic survivors was a Japanese national, and he was a male, and he was shamed his entire life because he should have, given his place on the boat to a female, and that just, the whole society shunned him. So fast forward, I don't know how it is now, but fast forward to, the era in which that Godzilla movie happened. That didn't surprise me, but yeah, I agree. It was I would say a very original story, and even original is like, okay, how are these people that are still, recovering from the war, how are they going to take a giant sea monster down? And the way they did it, I thought was very clever.
Well, and
so
I thought,
again, at many levels,
and it's kind of jump into the end there, but just you gave the defeated veterans who feel shame, you gave them purpose to defend their country again, and they got redemption. They got redemption at the end. I was just like, holy moly! I was just like just the levels to it. I was like, goodness gracious! I walked out of there immediately. I was like, this is my favorite movie of the year, like bar none. This is my number one movie of the year. Like not sometimes sometimes when I go and see a movie, I gotta kind of like give myself a couple day grace period because like you're like, oh, that was great, and then you give yourself a few days, be like, maybe it wasn't as good. But I was like, no, that movie was fantastic, bar none. It's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Well, and there was that actor strike for so many months here, so I'm thinking, the next year ahead is going to be shite when it comes to new movies because everything was on hold for so long with the actors and writer strike. And I thought, well, you know what? Maybe that will save the day, and maybe we'll get, because America, I mean, that's our major export, seems like, is entertainment. But, maybe we'll start getting because there's some really, really good foreign language films out there. I mean, Dan Corner's a market on horror films, as far as I'm concerned. But maybe we'll start getting more foreign language films out there and, break out of our, America's the only one who makes great films. And, be able to expand everybody. There's another one out there. I think it might be a Japanese film. It's an animated thing. I forget the name of it. But so there's two in the theaters at the same time just to fill the coffers. But, and who else is doing that is Netflix. There's a whole lot of foreign language films on
I was just about
Netflix.
to say, because Netflix really reinforced their position. Because they had Squid Game, which I believe is Korean, and the success of Squid Game, they went and bought up a bunch of Korean properties. So once the well is officially kind of drained from Hollywood, they're going to have a bunch of a lot of stuff to come up. Hi Nate, what's up?
I just want to say, since we're talking about Netflix, that my show Beef that I loved so much and I talked about won a lot of awards. I'm very happy because I love that show.
I think we tried to watch it. It really wasn't our cup of tea, but I'm a big fan of that's Stephen Yoon, right?
Yeah.
And he's a Michigan guy, so yeah, I'm down. I'm down to support Stephen Yoon.
And I think they got Best Actor, Best Actress, and Best Miniseries. I love when you watch something and you don't know where it's going to go next, because a lot of things they're so pre-programmed. We're so used to seeing like, oh, A plus B. C.
So many times I'll be sitting there like we were just doing that with my wife and I just go, and we just kind of do. So do you think it's going to go this way or that way? Because you just know, you've seen so many things so many times. You see the patterns. You go, oh, it's gonna. There'll be times where I'll turn a program off because I was like, oh, it's going this way. I'm good.
Well,
I think it's on Apple TV.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, just with all of the just crap out there. They're going for a while now. It's just been going quantity versus quality. And I think it was Apple TV, and they had a new Mark Wahlberg thing out there where he was a retired assassin, but now he's a family guy. But then they found out where he was, so he has to kill everybody in this path while taking his family on a family vacation. And then no, it was probably one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I like Mark Wahlberg, but and at one point the grandfather is you find out is the head of this big assassination ring, and he's the bad guy. And at one point, I actually had to stop him for a minute after this line because I had to catch my breath. It was so bad. The granddaughter says, everybody's dead around them, and the granddaughter's looking at the grandfather and says, when I look at you, I don't just see a multinational intercontinental assassin. I see my grandfather. I'm like, oh, I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but it's just terrible dialogue.
Like that, yeah.
Oh, I had to pause the movie and just groan.
Yeah, let out the biggest.
So anyway, so Nick, I have to thank you. I don't think I would have seen the Godzilla movie it had for your review because I trust your taste. I think we have very similar taste. So thanks for that because that was really good.
Of course.
I didn't see you. I don't want to push ahead, but I didn't see you recommend Aquaman. Though, did you see Aquaman? When we get to that, I have an opinion on Aquaman.
We can get to it, but yeah, there's a certain. I'll just say there's nothing that I have too much interest in that's in the theaters where I'm like, oh yeah, we gotta go see that. Because that went like a fart in the wind. That was there and that was gone. Because especially the last like 5 years or so, like I has started going like, is it just me or is everything crap? And then you start going, to kind of see, is it just me? I end up coming to YouTube, and then you find a bunch of people are like, no, it's been a lot of shit, frankly. So, and that's kind of how if something's good or not is if YouTubers are talking about and how long it sticks around on YouTube. That's how you kind of can. That's how I've started to gauge where, people are like, oh yeah, they'll, talk about Aquaman. That was up for about 5 seconds and then it was gone. So it's just like, I mean, that'll be one of those check it out eventually, but it was not a priority.
No. Well, just to restore my faith in humanity. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying because I remember at one point Adam and I did a dinner bet for how much Aquaman was going to do, and I think I'm just going to let that go because the first Aquaman that made $1 billion, and we were talking, is it going to make between? I was saying I think we were between like 6 and 800 billion or 6 and 800 million, and then I don't know what it ended up doing, but it was obviously nowhere near. So it didn't even peak. It piqued no one's interest because, let's be honest, the American audience is just, it's all kind of the same. Where it's just like it wants next to nothing to do with comic books right now because of they've tainted the market so badly.
Yeah. Just to restore my faith in humanity, I went back a couple weeks ago and rewatched Captain America: The First Avenger. God, I love that movie. That was the beginning. Man.
It's a shame because it's kind of it's the Office quote, right? Where you're like, man, I really wish someone would have let us know like when we were living in the good times, and before it, just like this is if someone would have came up and said, hey, this is as good as it's gonna get, and be like, okay, I'll soak it in more, right? Because especially the way Marvel is going, because it's the next thing, it's the next thing, it's the next thing, it's the next thing. You can't even sit back and enjoy it, which is kind of what's so nice about Godzilla -1, where they didn't think it was going to do very well. So when that was first released, like it was only going to be in theaters for like 2 or 3 weeks because they're like, well, we'll let it play in America because we don't think America's going to be too interested in it. America just gobbled it up, and then finally they just said, they extended it like 14 days, and then it's like, oh, you guys still like it? Yeah, well, we'll just leave it in the theaters then, and so I think they're gonna do a re-release that's just gonna be a black and white version. So I still
interesting.
So maybe Jerry, maybe
Yeah.
we can link up and maybe go check it out again if you're interested. So
You know what? I would enjoy that. Let's do that.
yeah, so
Nate, you're
but,
down in what, New Mexico?
Phoenix.
yeah, Nate's down. So,
Phoenix. Well, we'll meet halfway
yeah.
in Detroit.
I say, it's funny because Trudy and I were talking about maybe doing a Vegas trip. I was saying, I wonder if Nate will make it over to Vegas. I wonder if that's close enough. So.
If we coordinate, we could probably do it. We're trying to. Josh wants to go to Amazing Comic-Con in Las Vegas, and there's shows out there all the time. Comic shows. There's a bunch of comic shops that we're in with, and
I know.
obviously Vegas is Vegas. So
yeah, that's the thing. So the thing she wants to go to, it's supposed to be a Stephen King like convention that's not sanctioned by Stephen King. It's just like a fan thing, and she's like, "Hey," because what's that?
Wouldn't it be bad if he showed up and just slaughtered everyone?
Right. But so I'm trying to make my deal to go to Pittsburgh to go to a Comic Con, and she's like, "Well, if we're doing this, can we do this?" I was like, "Whatever." And like you said, Nate, even if the convention sucks, it's still Vegas.
Well, we went up there for a small convention, and it was a 1-day convention, and we took our kids to see the Blue Man Group afterwards, and it was like the funnest day. It was a really good day. I mean, like we sold out of a bunch of books. Like there was this like energy, and we took the kids to see Blue Man Group, which is like part magic, music, and comedy. And my kids were going in. They were like they were young. Well, they're 9 and 12 right now, so it was a couple years ago. But they were just standing, holding onto the chairs in front of them, and like bouncing up and down the entire time. They were so excited. I was like, "Yes, come back to Vegas and do more comic shows."
How fun!
I'll say you already got the green light from the
What's
kids.
it
Like, yeah, we'll go to Vegas.
It's like 4 or 5 hours for you, Nate, from Phoenix.
It's a 45-minute flight or about a 6-hour drive. But the drive we drove and we took a scenic route, and it took about a half hour longer, but it was so beautiful. It, like when I was a kid, I'd have been like, I hate this, I hate all of you, this is the worst thing you could ever do to me. We went through Joshua Tree National Park. There's just like these stunning desert vistas, and it was great. It was great. I really enjoyed it. My wife didn't want to go back.
It's always that's the beauty of marriage, because you're like, that was amazing, you're right, and the other one's like, that sucked. We're like, all right, opposites do attract. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Too fun.
But yeah, so
anyway, thanks for that.
So let's do this. So top movie of 2023, I already put out that Godzilla -1. It was a late entry, but it did jump right to my top of my list. Do you guys have anything else? I don't know if you agree, disagree, or if you have any other ones you want to throw in there.
I can't think of any off the top of my head.
Hey, you didn't.
Yeah, you got me.
Godzilla. Did you say? What did you think of Godzilla?
I saw it. Hold please. I really enjoyed it a lot. I mean, foreign film to me has always been kind of, I don't know. I mean, like in America, it's like all sex driven, and when you watch foreign film, it's like honor and all these other values that are wrapped in. So I'd heard so much about Godzilla -1 that I did have really high expectations, but I was really happy because what I got wasn't what I thought I'd get, but it was still like really good.
Well, it's funny you say that, because one of the things getting back to sex filled and everything, one of the things I absolutely loved is you knew that, I forget the main characters' names right now, but the main male and female characters, it wasn't sex driven. It wasn't, you knew it wasn't sex based, and they kind of made a point to go out of the way to say, he's like, oh, you're totally hitting that. He's like, no, he's like, she's just a woman. He's like, but and they had to go, hey, moron, she adores you. Like, it had to kind of go that route with it. But that was so refreshing for me to be like, oh, they didn't, make either of them a whore, you know, which seems to be
Yeah.
such a common thing in at least Western films. Like, well, either the guys are a whore, or girls are whore. Thanks.
Yeah.
That's a real good point. And that's a good point about the values. Just seeing those different values on screen, um, just to have something different and of quality, and it took you places you didn't expect to go, which just doesn't happen much anymore. I don't know.
And the crazy thing, Jerry, that movie, um, it was reported that it was a $15 million budget, and then when they went to the director, be like, oh, you made that 15. He's like, I wish I had 15 million to make that. So they don't even it when you see the totals that Hollywood's putting out, 200 million, $300 million movies, and they're just garbage. And you see they made that for, let's say, 12 million. Like, Hollywood should be ashamed. That movie should have,
Yeah.
that movie should have humbled Hollywood. I know it won't, but it should have.
Right. But it's about the story. It always has been about the story, and that just proves it over and over again. It's not, explosions and all that stuff are exciting, but you get to the end of the day, what's going to be around for my kids to see? It'll be movies like that. It won't be Aquaman 2, I'll tell you that much.
No, it's going to be. I think when God willing, we're all alive in 20, 30 years, we're going to look back at the 2020s and be like, that was truly like the dark ages of Hollywood, because there's so little, and the line, one of the few diamonds will be Godzilla -1, and hopefully that'll be almost like a watershed moment where, like, oh, that's where things started to turn around. That's my hope. Whether that actually happens, we'll see, but that's kind of my hope.
Hey, time's running out, and I have just a couple quick questions for you guys, because you're more tapped in than I am. Did I hear that they greenlit a Star Wars movie with Mandalorian and Grogu?
That was one of the
Did
things
you hear that?
I wanted to get to. So it seems like Disney is doing its best that they realize, hey, everything with throwing at the wall isn't sticking. The only thing that they had that people liked was Mandalorian and Grogu. So now they're supposed to be getting their own movie. I think it's supposed to be produced by Dave Filoni, but
Is
they
it
kind of
directed by Favreau?
Yes, by Favreau, correct. Yeah, sorry, I think it's Filoni, but yeah,
I'm in.
Favreau's supposed
Favreau, I'm
to
in.
be.
I'm in.
See, here's the thing, and people, I got so much pushback from friends where I was just like, when they had the Mandalorian, where they had the end of season 2 where Luke came and got him, and I was just like, fantastic, because we're actually going to get some character development. Baby Grogu, cool, I get it, but if this character is supposed to stick around, you have to develop the character in some way, shape, or fashion. And then they immediately changed it where he went right back to Mandalorian. I was like, you can't do anything with a baby. You simply can't. So, and eventually I had right. I was like, yeah, because now you get people, you're starting to see so many people are like, oh, cool, I would have liked to see that movie 2 or 3 years ago, but now it's like, people are already souring on Grogu. We'll see if they somehow get them some character development. That's cool, but just the way they haven't done anything with that character, it's kind of be like, okay, cool, still the baby who can't do anything. So
Yeah, well, we'll see.
And
oh, go ahead, Nick.
I was just gonna say, and what would have sold an ass load of freaking toys if you let him go with Luke, Grogu with a lightsaber. That I'd have bought that toy instead of having all these all these toys that they got to send to Ollie's because no one wants them. Like you'd have sold a absolute ton of Baby Grogu with a freaking lightsaber. Just
They
think
need to hire you. Too fun. Hey, if I was gonna, it's hard for me to pick a. Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
What the heck is going on? Oh my gosh. I have no idea how this works.
How many hand gestures do you have in there?
I don't know. Let's see.
No. I don't know what happens when you pick up the middle fingers. Who knows?
There you go. I don't know what it is. A shake?
No one likes to show off, Nate.
Too funny.
All right, Jared, did you have any other questions?
I just I'll end with it's hard for me to remember all the movies I saw this year because Barbenheimer, yeah. But I honestly like The Flash, and I think that might be a little controversial. Ooh. But I like The Flash. It brought Michael Keaton back. It had a nice time travel aspect.
There was elements that really could have worked. I think the biggest thing holding that movie back was Ezra Miller. And, Adam and I screamed that from the rooftops. I was like, for all the stuff that he did, there's no way that movie's going to be successful just because he was still attached to it. And, I get it. You can't go back and shoot an entire movie, but that movie was dead on arrival just because of Ezra Miller. And you realize...
Unfortunately.
What's that?
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, I agree with you.
And then it's a hell of a time to realize, hey, he's not really a leading man. So,
yeah.
I
went in blissfully.
Yeah. So, and when you come in like, hey, he's a leading man, and you see it on the screen, be like, he's not a lead.
I will give honorable mention to the creator. I really enjoyed that movie.
Yeah, we just watched that recently. It was interesting. I still don't know how I feel about it, but visually, I thought it was that was
visually very beautifully shot.
Yeah, I'm still not.
I agree.
I probably have to give it another watch to kind of give a real hard critique on it, but
it wasn't horrible. I enjoyed it.
No, definitely not horrible, but a few things I've a little like to see it. But and here's the difference, or here's the problem. Sometimes when you try and be too creative, and sometimes you try something, and sometimes it just doesn't. Sometimes it falls a little bit flat in some certain spots. Certain parts of the movie really worked, certain parts didn't really work as well. So, but I wouldn't say it's terrible. So, but yeah, I mean, if you're interested, you know what it is? It's highbrow sci-fi. Like it's really like that's science fiction. That's if that's a science fiction movie, sci-fi.
I forget who did it, but I like that. I like some of the other stuff that he's done. I forget who the director was. Actually, let me look.
Did you watch?
Hey, Jensen. Unfortunately, I gotta sign off here, Nick. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
Time for Grandma. Nate, I hope. Oh, I always appreciate you having me on, Nate. I hope you feel better.
Thank you.
And congratulations on all your success. This is very exciting. Very exciting. I
don't know if I was I knew you would yet. Well, we're
thanks for the world exclusive too. That was kind of exciting. Very cool. Yeah. So, all right, guys, I gotta go. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. All right.
All right. See you.
Thanks a lot, buddy. It didn't work. Oh, there you go. See you guys.
Bye.
All right. So yeah, the creator.
So that was Gareth Edwards. He did Rogue One, Godzilla.
Right.
He did a lot of stuff. He did the Hokey Pokey, and he turned himself about.
And then he got a Godzilla.
Mm-hmm.
So. Oh yeah. do you want to talk about first, Rebel Moon or Leave the World Behind? Let's go Leave the World Behind.
Okay.
What did you think of that one?
I liked it that I didn't know where it was going because the elements were so kind of obscure. Like at one point, if that ship hadn't have crashed into the shore in the beginning, I would have thought that I'm gonna butcher his name, Marshall.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I would have thought that he was a con man,
right.
but there was very obviously something going on, and yeah, it just kept on taking turns, and then at the end, the when he like the exposition comes out, it was surprising and like that's amazing that that could happen and it's plausible. But when it got to the very end, the very last scene, I was like, oh, I guess that's the end of the movie then.
Yeah, it because I think I watched it first and then I watched it with my wife, and then I kind of went like it reminded me kind of like an M. Night Shyamalan movie without the fun twist at the end. That's what it reminded me of because it seemed very kind of
That's
M.
the
Night
best
Shyamalan.
explanation ever.
Yeah, it seemed that's what I was like. This feels very, this seems like an M. Night Shyamalan. Like there's a lot of weird things going on. Like what's the twist? And then the twist just
It's like
kind of never came.
It's like going to dinner and getting seated and then you don't get any food.
Yeah, you get you get the salad and the bread, and then you're like, "Where's the food?" And you're like, "Nope, this is it." You're like, "Well, thank you. I appreciate your time, and I'm gonna leave now." So
That's awesome.
yeah, that's kind of it wasn't bad. I was just like it just like I said, it just kind of ended, and it had a heck of a cast. I mean,
Yeah,
you got Julia Roberts, is it Mahershala Ali?
I think so. Yeah, he's gonna play Blade. I think I'm
Yeah,
excited.
he's supposed to be that movie is.
I
God
hope
knows what's gonna happen with that thing. If
he's
I have too much respect for him, and I hope he kind of just like peace out and done.
yeah.
But then you also have Ethan Hawke, and I think
Kevin Bacon. Kevin Bacon.
oh
Can't
my,
lose with
I love
Kevin Bacon.
but also because this I don't want to say controversial part, but this was produced by the Obamas.
Hmm. That's scary.
They got a
Didn't know that.
Netflix deal, and that was one of the movies that they helped produce. But
Was it based on a book
yes, I do know it's. I believe it's based off a book, but
that Barack Obama wrote?
yeah, nope. Yeah, so the premise is a family getaway to a luxurious rental home takes an ominous turn for a cyber attack, knocks out their devices, and two strangers appear. So,
It only takes becoming the president to get your project produced.
yeah, I mean,
If I become president, maybe Night of the Chihuahuas will become a movie.
I hope so.
Vote Nate. No, don't vote Nate.
Vote Nate
Never vote
20
Nate.
Vote Nate in 2028. There we
Yes.
go. We already got it.
Hold on.
Wait, you're moving it. There it is.
I can't believe that, man. That's the weirdest thing.
What the hell? Why does it only work on yours?
I don't know.
No, it's your computer. So
I guess. I actually have real confetti here.
it's like, you know how much confetti I got in my ceiling right now?
And fireworks in the
I
background.
say, waited for it for New Year's and just never used it. But for me, I would definitely give it a pass. It builds up to something, but it builds up, like you said, and it's just like, no, we're done. Like, okay, like it's not even one of those like we're gonna leave it open for interpretation. We're like, no. So, what do you think, Nate? Are you giving it? Would you recommend it or not?
I'd recommend it. I mean, if you're gonna waste time, you might as well be confused.
Yeah,
So-
and it's on Netflix, so it's not like you have to waste money to go to a theater to go see it. But
Yeah. I think I like that. My thing lately has been, I want to be engaged. When I was watching John Wick, and it's just senseless violence, like, and it's which has its place, but
Well, yeah,
sometimes you want the mystery, like Stranger Things. You're wondering what
right.
is this? What is
Yeah,
this?
what's happening next? Yeah, with the John Wicks, that's turn the brain off and watch, Keanu kill a bunch of guys in various different ways. That's fun.
Yes.
That's cool.
Usually ends with a headshot, though. I noticed.
Right.
Hold on, does this do anything?
Finger guns? No, got nothing. Pew pew pew. But and then the other one that came out on Netflix was Rebel Moon from Zack Snyder. Is this supposed to be a? Is it supposed to be a trilogy? I think, or is it
I think it's just two, is what I read.
two? But also there's supposed to be a comic book to come out and support it,
Oh, I didn't
and
know
and then there's supposed to be a director's cut coming out later to help. And here's the problem. So you've got Zack Snyder, who he's kind of very hit or miss for a lot of people, especially for me. Like, yeah, there's a lot of things I like, but also like visually, I think Zack Snyder's very, very interesting. Has a very interesting style, but then like some of his movies where he's allowed to direct, he's got a good style, but when it's his story, it can kind of be like you can kind of go off the rails pretty quickly. What did you think of Rebel Moon?
I liked it. It felt very basic in some ways. Um, I saw the comparison to what was it, A Bug's Life? Somebody made that it's like beat for beat, it's the same as A Bug's Life or something.
That one I haven't heard.
Or is it Ants or Bug's Life or one of those?
Which are kind of the same, but yeah.
But I mean, I think when he puts stuff out, it's been, it's not the best, but visually it's cool. But you have to also acknowledge that he's influenced so much of cinema with his visual style
Oh yeah.
that
There's so
everybody
there's
bites.
so much there's so much slow mo in cinema right now, and I blame him for it.
As
Because
always.
here's the thing. So this movie doesn't just have slow mo, it has slow mo and then super slow mo. So I was just watching, I was like, this is truly the most Zack Snyder thing I've ever seen.
It's just stopped. It's
I
just a
was just
still
like
image.
frame by frame by frame. And I'm just like, okay, dude, like goodness, like you can only slow mo so much, but he keeps finding ways. But because this was he originally pitched this to be in the Star Wars universe, and I can see sort of um, where it would have fit, but also I think and I've heard this, and then just from my experience with the Warhammer 40K, you can definitely see some influence, and some people basically say he ripped straight from Warhammer 40K. I don't know. I'd be willing to give the director's cut a shot, because I think that would uh, that might clean up some of it. But my experience, I don't know what your experience is with the director's cuts, because usually when I see a director's cut and then you go back to your original cut and you're like, yeah, there's probably a reason why they cut that part out. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I try it, especially when I know there's going to be a sequel that's already. I think the sequel is supposed to be what, April.
Maybe, yeah. I think that
And
that's like
so,
ready to
and
go.
I hate to just completely shut things down, but it's just like certain things. I was just like the pacing's not great. It's certain points, it's you know, but getting back to Godzilla, -1, or I feel like I've kind of seen this all before. There's just nothing that's terribly.
I'm excited for Dune +2.
Dude, 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 I'm so psyched for Dune. Remember, it's so funny because I still remember this because you're the one who told me that, oh, like when they freaking pushed Dune back, I was so pissed. I was so mad. I've not been that mad,
Sorry.
and I've not been that mad in such a long time, and I was just like, but then they're like, well, give some more time to work on the movie, so they're probably happy about it. So I was like, all right, but I'm still not happy about it because that's the only thing I had to look forward to, and that's still the only thing I got to look forward to. Because even like there was certain things that were letdowns because like I wanted to go see Napoleon, and then I kind of do, you know, kind of see what the reviews are. You know, I've got some YouTubers that I watch, like Film Threat, you know, Chris Gore, those guys. You know, I kind of agree with most of them, most of their takes on movies, and just everybody's just like, it's okay. You know, it's a greatest hit of Napoleon's battles. I was like, well, isn't that kind of what you want though? But
Napoleon pinching a loaf.
yeah, I was like,
Mm. Sacre bleu.
I'm finished. But yeah, there's just but there are a few movies, I can't remember them right now, but there's a few movies on that are coming up I do want to see, but Dune Part 2, that's really at the top of the list for me. And
Yeah, maybe I'm hoping that Deadpool 3 doesn't reach too far. I think that's the only Marvel movie coming out this year, right?
that's the only one I care about.
Yeah.
So, but that's
But I don't know if the pictures on Instagram are true, but it looks like they're going wild.
yeah. So yeah, the rumors I've heard are they go pretty deep in some spots, and it's just like, oof, if that's where we're going, I mean, I'm interested, but at the same time, it's like, oh boy. So I'm trying to see if I'm on IMDb, trying to see if there's stuff that I can.
I'm probably gonna have to cut out here in a little bit.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up here pretty soon.
All right.
Because it's about that time, and I'm sick and tired. So.
Another dose of cough syrup.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's about good for today, Nate. So, anything you want to say before we take off?
No, just the Kickstarter. bit.ly/killerdogs5. Please help support indie comics. And I was hoping it would have jumped from the last time we looked.
I was hoping to gone up a little bit, but we haven't been on that long, so
yeah. No, it's the grind. The first few days are good. There's usually a lull in the middle, and the last 2-3 days are good. So
yeah, you sir have been very busy on social medias. I've been trying to catch up with you on a few of them and see some of the talks you guys were having, but that was one of the ones I saw. I was like, yeah, just about everything I've heard when it comes to any type of Kickstarter, it's usually if it's going to take off, it all takes off in the beginning, and then there's a lull because everybody forgets about it, and then everybody remembers at the end. So
yeah.
So if you can't go support Nate and the Chihuahuas, so all right. But on that, hopefully next time we'll get Adam on. Hopefully he'll get a
Come
little
back,
bit break.
Adam.
He might have to take some time off work to go see. So, but all right, my friend. Well, thank you so much for joining, and thank Jerry for joining us as well. So, if you want to see what we've been talking about, we go check us out on Facebook and Instagram at The Escape with Nick and Adam. If you have not yet subscribed to The Escape with Nick and Adam YouTube channel, it definitely helps a lot. And I have been slacking on uploading podcasts, but new year, same me, but I'm going to try and get back to making sure everything's uploaded. So if you want to go listen to our podcast, we are on all the major podcast platforms. Go check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Audible, and Google Podcasts. So, other than that, thank you so much, guys, and have a good night.